And we're all set. Go ahead, Risha.
Okay, thanks, Len. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to CA Testing Tools Global User Community Monthly Webcast. Before we begin with our demo today, I just want to introduce a couple of folks that will be presenting today. We have Frank Schuler with us. He's the product owner and manager for Mainframe Application Tuner. Hello, Frank.
Hello, how are you today?
And we also have Mikhail Vasak with us. He's a senior software engineer on the MAT team and will be showing the GUI today. So,
hello.
Hello. Okay. I guess, Mikhail, you can take over.
Okay. Just give me a second. Okay, so does everybody see the GUI? Am I sharing?
Not yet.
Not yet, okay.
There it comes. Not quite yet, though. There it is. I can see it.
Okay, so this is the Mainframe Application Tuner GUI, and this is the web version. We also have a desktop version based on Eclipse. This was added in version 10, and we are extending it now in version 11. So I believe we're supposed to start with how to create a measurement and how to analyze it, which is functionalities from version 10 already. So here on the left, we have existing monitor profiles from the GIF, and we are able to edit them, manage them, and add a new one. So that's what I'm going to do now. And I want to measure a job. I'll measure one of the test applications that we use for that. I'll make it really short so we don't have to wait here. And you can see it has all the settings that you know from ISPF. It's here, but I'll keep it simple for now. So here it is. I can invoke it by using invoke command. And now it's waiting. So that means it's waiting for the job to be started. And I have the JCR here. So let's go. Yeah, so now we can see it's active. That means it's measuring the job. It will keep doing that until the job is finished or until we are out of the duration specified in the monitor profile. So that's really the same as if you do it through ISPF. It's just a different way to access the functionality. Let's see. Yeah. Now this is a little bit special. We are in the post-processing phase. This is specific to the GUI because the analysis is now finished, and the CA-MAT server is now converting the results into a format that the GUI can understand. This is so that it's faster when you load the results into the GUI than if it was completely unprocessed in the monitor file. Yeah. Okay, and we're done. So now I can analyze the results. And I get something a little bit similar to what you would get in ISPF again with the main views. So there's the task view, delay view, code view, or the ones that you know. The difference is that now in the GUI, when I drill down, I can kind of get these windows. I'm not limited to just looking at a single page at a time. I can drag things around and just compare things that I need to. And by the way, here we can see this one has a registered listing, so we get the histogram with verbs. We can go to a listing, see the specific line in the code that had the activity. And again, it's showing up like that. Yeah, here I can switch the types. So if I switch to analysis type normal, it goes retrieve that type of analysis from the server. Again, I can go through it. You might have noticed there's one extra view that's log, and that really just lists a server log from obtaining the data. So if there was some problem converting it for the GUI, for example, or if there's some section missing, I could see it here. That's really mostly useful if there's a problem. Okay, one more thing you might find interesting in the GUI is since you have this workspace that you can break around, move, and so on, you can also do some things that are normally not easy to do, like if, let me see, let's find a good profile. Okay, for example, this one, I have a couple of measurements in here. Let's say I'm just tuning some program. I try to measure it more than once. So now I have multiple measurement results, and I'm going to find out what changed, right? So what I can do here is put one of them to one side, the other to the other side. I can select compare, and now whenever I look on something on one side, it's going to switch to the same view on the other side, so I can really quickly and easily compare. Okay, so what did change between those measurements? Okay, so if I sort, say, by total, that's going to happen on both sides as well. And yeah, maybe what's also worth noting in this quick overview is every view has help. So you can always go to the help for the appropriate view with explanation of what you see there. Okay, so that's a quick overview of the GUI as it looks now. Yeah. And next topic should be to focus on what's new in version 11. However, if there are any questions as of this point, maybe let's start with that.
Hey everybody, if you have any questions, please use the Q&A box in the WebEx. If it's not open for you right now, you will see a question mark icon in the upper right of your screen. Just click on that, and the box should open on the right side.
Okay, so as long as we don't have any questions, and stop me if there's any, I'll go to the new functionality. So the first thing we changed from version 10 is here on the left in the monitor profiles, we used to have just a simple tree display with the profile name, status, and number of runs. However, that was a bit difficult to navigate when you had a lot of profiles because you couldn't easily search it, and it was a bit unwieldy. So what we've come up with is we've changed it into a standard table, giving you all the customization options that a normal table has, and we've introduced a new filtering functionality. So there's a quick filter now, and if I'm looking, say, for profiles that measure run cop, as I was looking for now, I can just type it here. In its basic version, it's just going to show me everything that contains run cop somewhere. So you can see there are profiles that are named like that. There are others that have it as a job name. Some might have it in description. So whichever profile at least mentions it somewhere is now shown. I could also do a more specific search. So if I type it again, I get offered a selection of fields where that expression would make sense. You can display it here and say, okay, I'm looking only for profile. So there it is. The search also has all the usual wildcards that are available on the mainframe. So I could do a search for, okay, let's say something that has cop in the middle. Let's limit it to profiles so we can see it's not just run cop, it's all these other ones. And you might have noticed that when I type a specific filter, it gets added here, so I can remove it from here, or I could now continue and say, okay, I also want to have, oops. Okay, sorry about that. Yeah, I just clicked a browser button and it moved me back one page. Anyway, so as I was showing, if I have a filter here, or let's put something less specific so there's more results. I can also continue at more filters here. So say I want to see one run only, and they keep getting added in here. I can now remove them even in a different order. So now there's only one run for whatever profile name and so on. That's basically the filtering functionality. Filtering is generally available for all the tables in the GUI. The quick filter is a bit specific so far. We're still considering whether to use it for other tables as well. There's also this general table filter available as a dialog, which does really the same things. It's a bit more convenient if you want to type in multiple filters at the same time, but most of the time it's really easy to use just a quick search here. And one last note to this change is, since we've extended this to a table, it's now a full monitor profiles table. Okay, if I double click here, I can extend it to the whole screen. You can see it has pretty much all the information you could find on the mainframe. I can go to customization and add another columns or other columns. So there's really all the information that we have about the monitor profiles. And you can choose which ones you want to see. You can change the order to suit your needs better. And it's persisted, so next time you log in, it's going to look the same way. And if you just aren't sure what you changed and want to put it back into the original order, there's the reset page command for that. Okay, so that's the first new functionality. The second new functionality is something we were missing because we didn't have time to get to it in version 10, and that's deleting monitor profiles. So we did have a functionality to delete items from monitor history, but we couldn't delete whole profiles from the GUI. That's now fixed. So if I find a new profile created at the beginning, I can just delete it. I get the option to delete the monitor datasets created there. So let's say yes, you don't need them anymore. And it's gone. Yeah, that was a quick demo for that. And one last functionality that's now new in the first increment is we started dealing with monitor schedules. Now we didn't have time to implement the full functionality, but we've at least started by giving you a view of the existing ones. So what you see here are the schedules that are now defined in the system. Again, I can extend it a little bit. This is the basic information we have about it. Again, in customization, I could choose more details. There's basically everything we know about them. So start date and date, number of days, the specific days on which the schedule is active. Everything that you could find inside the schedule definition if you went in ISPF. And it's actually a bit easier to reach. You don't have to go into administration options and so on. And while you're not able to add new ones as of the first increment, we are planning that for the second increment. Should definitely be there. Adding, deleting, copying, all that. Right now, in the first increment, you can at least try it. You can at least view which ones are there, and if you see one that's useful for what you need to do, you can then go into the definition of a profile. And in addition, there's a schedule name. You now get a drop-down with the existing ones. So you can select, okay, I know this one does what I need to do. So I can assign it to the profile. Next time I do an invoke, it's going to be invoked with the schedule. That's it for the new functions in the GUI. So if there are no questions, yeah?
Hey, Mikhail, we have a question on the table. Can you save multiple? Can you save multiple profiles and select?
I'm not sure I completely understand. What do you mean by save multiple profiles?
I think perhaps that was dealing with the comparison of multiple profiles, which we demonstrated earlier.
Yeah. Oh, you mean as if I could select 3 of them and say analyze all 3 at once? Is that it?
Right. Right, I think so.
Yeah. No, unfortunately not, but it's something we could do as an enhancement or something to consider.
Yeah. I think they're all set with the answer. They, I think it was pretty similar to the compare field that we demonstrated earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay. Do we have any other questions?
There don't seem to be any other questions.
Len, can you take us to the announcement page?
Sure. All right, so I'll give control back to you.
Risha, do we need to go through any of these other slides?
No, those are backup slides in case we needed those.
Oh, okay. Is this the slide you're looking for, Risha? Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, I have Scott Davidson with me here who would like to make an announcement. Hello, Scott.
Hi, Richard, thanks. So I just want to make an announcement that on our community right now, we have 3 customer surveys available for you. We have one for FileMaster Plus, one for NHS and SimDump, and one for this product, the Mainframe Application Tuner. Your feedback is very, very important to us, and you know, because it helps us to understand where we need to be focused. The surveys take less than 5 minutes to complete, so if you can find some time to fill out those surveys, that would be excellent. We'd really appreciate that. Also, we have some open opportunities for customer validation on the projects that we're currently working on. That's for FileMaster Plus version 10, NHS and SimDump version 10, and Mainframe Application Tuner version 11. So if you're interested in working with our R&D teams as a validation partner, you can go out to validate.ca.com and you can sign up for one or more of those projects. So that was what I wanted to mention. Thank you, Richard.
Thank you, Scott. And we're still open for questions if you have any for Frank and Mikhail. That was a great presentation, Mikhail. Thank you.
I don't see any other questions.
Okay, then that brings us towards the end of our presentation. Thank you, everyone. Have a nice day.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody. Have a good day.
Bye.